Hi, I'm Safwan Isruna from IELTS Writing Prep, and today's lesson is going to be about writing conclusions and their importance in IELTS writing. For students aiming for a 6 or above, it's important that they write a conclusion. In the band descriptors, for a band 5, it says there may be no conclusions drawn. Okay, and for a band 6, it says conclusions may become unclear or repetitive. So here the conclusion might be difficult to understand, or it might be repeating text from the introduction or from the body paragraphs. Now, many students spend too much time writing task 1, and when it comes to their essay, they don't have enough time to finish it. If you only have 5 minutes left, make sure that you write a conclusion. So even if it's just one sentence, at least you will have a conclusion and you don't get below a band 5. Here are some tips on how to write a good conclusion. Now, first of all, we want to start off with a linker. So some good linkers to use: in conclusion and to summarize. These will make it clear to the corrector that you are introducing a conclusion. Stay away from linkers like finally and lastly. These are not for conclusions. They're for introducing your final point in the body of the text. Now, after we started off with a linker, we want to rephrase the answer in the introduction. This is called the thesis statement. We want to use different vocabulary. So we want to use synonyms for the answer within the introduction. This won't just gain us marks for the conclusion itself, but also it will gain us marks for lexical resource. And if you play with the grammatical structure, also it could gain you marks for grammatical range and accuracy. So after we've rephrased this, your answer in, you've phrased your answer that you wrote in the introduction, we want to summarize the main points. Okay, so these are the main points within the body of the text. We don't want to write any details. We just want to, introduce, the main points again. Of course, not using the same vocabulary and grammatical structures that you used within the body. It's important that you do not introduce any new ideas within the conclusion. Now, many students do this and they say, oh, I didn't get the word count, so they introduced new ideas within the conclusion. If you do this, it might be confusing for the corrector, because now they don't know, if this is a body paragraph or if it's a conclusion. And this is especially problematic when a student writes something that contradicts what they've written within the answer or the body of the text. So we have a linker, then we rephrase the answer in the introduction, and we summarize the main points. Okay, let's take a look at an example of a conclusion. Okay, here we have an introduction of an essay. Of course, in an essay we do not write introduction and we do not write conclusion. Okay, I talked about this in a previous video, which is format for IELTS task 2. This is just to clarify for you that this is an introduction and this is a conclusion. Okay, so we start off with the linker, in conclusion, and then we rephrase the answer from the introduction. So let me read the introduction. It's believed that the target of every nation ought to be the production of merchandise and produce. In my opinion, so this is the answer. I disagree with this statement. So this statement referring to the one that I just mentioned. due to there being more important factors of a successful country, such as education and justice. So this answer we want to rephrase. So focusing on education and justice are the main elements of a successful state. So we rephrase the answer there, and then we introduce a summary of the main points that were in the body of the text. Here it is: production and other fields will all flourish when these factors are present. Thus, producing goods should not be a primary goal of any nation, but a secondary one. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe to follow the series. Please post any questions you may have in the comments section.